There's a 1 in 8 chance that a woman will develop breast cancer in her lifetime. And for Black women, we're more than likely to be diagnosed before the age of 50. Head to BaptistHealth.net right now to schedule your mammogram and be on the proactive side of care. Mammograms save lives.
When the last time you had a prostate screening?
I haven't done.
What about colonoscopy?
I've been thinking about it. I know I have to do it.
Come on, man. You know, we can't wait till something happens. We can't wait for nobody to do it for us. We got to do it ourselves.
Yeah, you're right.
You know? So we got to make it a priority, man.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Okay.
I'll do it.
Full checkup once a year. And make sure you ask the doctors, you get a PSA. And important, make sure you get that colonoscopy. You're 50 now, man. You got to get that done. Okay?
This was awesome. Thank you for tuning in.
Hey, what's up, Hollow News family? Welcome to another episode of the Can We Talk podcast, our show where we talk to dope people in the community doing dope things. And today is a little different. I am giving a little Queen Latifah realness here because it is Juneteenth and I wanted to dress up. I wanted to do something Black and empowering. So y'all know I like playing with my hats these days. So put a hat in the chat if you seeing the hat and you loving it. If you guys know anything about me personally and my a podcast during the pandemic, I love a little quick dress up moment. So today I was like, why not? Because we are celebrating Juneteenth. It is all about celebrating our freedom and all the great things that Black people have done in this country so far, liberation. And so we have a really great show today. Definitely just, make sure before we get started into it, make sure you put comments, like, subscribe, let somebody know that you're watching, and tell them to follow Hilo News. We have a great show in store. Not only are we talking about Juneteenth, but we're also going to be talking about hurricane preparedness. We have two special guests today. I'm really excited to have them on because they have some messages and information that you need to know about to prepare for this hurricane season. Look, climate change is very real, y'all. We're not going to play like it's not a thing, right? So we have people here, and y'all know I always say this. I like to mix the medicine in with the candy. So I want you guys to be prepared, and I want to bring information here so that you can make the best decisions for your life and for your family. And also too, we have some other good things. We have our feel good news and our hot topics and trending topics and tea of the day. So we're gonna get into all of that good stuff today. So thank y'all for tuning in and watching as always. Before we get to our first guest, I want to get one quick news that you can use story in. So let's get that going. I'm gonna show, we have our visuals. So, some of the news that you can use, let's get into some of these Juneteenth events that are happening today and throughout the weekend. South Florida is one of the places that's definitely embraced Juneteenth. One of the largest Juneteenth celebrations actually happened in Miami Gardens, and you guys found that out watching last week episode where we had Councilwoman Katrina Wilson telling about her event and the gala that they have going on this year. So definitely a lots going on in South Florida for you to take advantage of it. So I just wanted to do a quick, 1, 2, we've already hey, what's up? You at the Juneteenth? Hey, North Miami Juneteenth experience. Okay, okay. Let us know how that's going. Thank you for watching while you're out there. Definitely let us know if you guys are watching on your way to Juneteenth. If you're not driving, let us know where you're headed to and what's going on. Or if you're going to go to a Juneteenth celebration, let us know where you're going to be headed to and where people should check out. But we have this oh, you Pastor Quincy, you like my Thank you. Thank you. Oh, Pastor Quincy, guess what? I'm going to be at West Fest. I'm going to tell y'all all about that maybe a little bit later in the show, definitely next week, but I'm going to be at West Fest. I know you a diehard bull, so definitely want to let you know that. So let's get into these stories that we have for Juneteenth. Just to let you guys know, we're not going to let the day go by and not get into some of these Juneteenth events, right? And we did some amazing coverage with High Low News. A shout out to our managing director, not director, managing editor, Derica. She helped put together this list that we put out there for the community. It came out this past Saturday, and so um you wait. So am I? Oh, Pastor Quincy, I am a bull. Y'all know I be claiming Carroll City, but my diploma does say Miami Northwestern. I'm a graduate of the class of 2006, so I rep it. I rep it. It's not my first go-to, Pastor Quincy, but is this the sign for the Bulls or is this it? This how y'all know I don't really be connected to it. But shout out to the Bulls. Hey, happy Juneteenth, Tatis. So back to our event. So this is Third on Third. They have events going on all throughout the city of Overtown, starting today through this weekend. So we have that article there on the website. And so they have stuff happening at the Virginia Key Beach, Gibson Park, tours through Key to Miami. There are, dope Black-owned businesses there in Overtown. They have a little greenhouse grill and live music and so many things going on. Social Exchange has line dancing. Oh, the boots on the ground. Everybody got their boots to the ground. So that's definitely something you want to check out. We actually did a individual article for this one because Third on Third had a lot of events going on in Overtown. Another article that we did was just a full list of certain things going on across the county. And so let me get into that. So celebrate the culture with these events, these must-attend events happening in South Florida. And so, like I said, shout out to Derica who put this together for us. And if you go through, we have a full list starting from this past Saturday through this Sunday of all the Juneteenth events that were sent to us. Also, too, guys, just know, like we always do, looking like a queen with the hat. Hey, oh, y'all liking the hat? Hey, 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 what's up? What's up? Hey, hey, auntie, happy Juneteenth. Yeah, I got my queen hat because it's a queen day for the liberation, right? But yeah, if you go on our website, hallownews.com or hallownewsmiami.com, you'll be able to find all of these events that are happening across South Florida. We created this list for you so that you can know what's going on and have a one-stop shop for it. Hallow News, we like to keep things convenient for you guys. And also, too, like I was saying, if there are events happening or if there's, say, for example, we try to put together these guys. So we know for sure every year we do a Juneteenth guide and we do we do an art Basel guide. So if you know these things are coming up, let us know ahead of time. I'm also too going to be sharing information on how you guys can submit stories, because still people don't really understand how to navigate local media. So I want to make sure that you all understand that. But look, if you have story ideas, is as easy as sliding in our DMs, or you could send us an email at info@hilonews.com. So these are some of the dope events happening for Juneteenth. Definitely wanted to enrich you guys with that information. Hey, thank you. Y'all, I feel like y'all making fun of me. I'm waiting for JJ to to tap in. Hold on, let me make sure the hat is okay. I'm waiting for my best friend to let me know what he thinks of it, because I do be doing some of this stuff for him to make fun of me. But yeah, definitely. I'm glad y'all feeling the hat. I'm glad y'all is. I thought y'all was gonna be like, what is Janae doing? Also, too, special quick little story about this hat. My cousin out of DC, her name is I call her Lil Kiki. Her name is actually Keandra Twyman, and she loves fashion. And every time I come, she's like, "Oh, I got this new piece for you. I got this new thing." So 2 years ago, I was there for Congressional Black Caucus, and she's like, "I think this hat will go dope with your suit." And I rocked it, and I loved it. And if you go through like my pictures on Instagram or Facebook, you can see it. And yeah, let me, because it is a little warm in here with all these lights. So y'all don't judge me. Y'all, look, that's a perfect segue into, hey, what's up? That is a perfect segue into my conversation about weather. Yes, the crown is crowning. Weather, the hurricane season, extreme heat, extreme cold, extreme rain and storms. Global warming is real, right? And one thing you don't want to do is be caught out there without the right things and the right information. And so I see my first guest, he's backstage. So I want to bring him on and get this conversation started right away. So without further ado, I would love to welcome to the show Kishon Clayborne. Hey, Kishon.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going good. Welcome to the show. Welcome to High Low News.
I'm glad to be here.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. So my name's Kishon Clayborne. My company's Hurricane Ready Windows and Doors, and I hope to get you guys prepared for the hurricane season. And I
Oh,
know
definitely.
I know climate change is very real. It's good for business actually. But my whole point is to get you ready so that you don't have to be scared about it. I mean, the thing is, growing up in Florida, we all deal with preparedness fatigue. We prepare all the time that we don't have a hurricane or the storm isn't big. But this hurricane season is going to be busier than before. There is a good chance that something will hit somewhere. But the thing is, you should be ready and not scared about it happening. And we all love the state. So I'm an advocate for doing, building up your foundation and hardening your home so that when a hurricane comes, it's not a worry. You're not out there last minute putting up plywood. You have impact windows, you have shutters, you're ready to go. So that's what my
Mm,
business is about. So I don't want to scare people about the hurricane, but you know what? Just like everything else, you don't have to be scared. You have to prepare for what's going to come or what's likely to happen. We live in Florida and we're going to have hurricanes and storms. And there's even other benefits that I can explain to impact windows and doors that go beyond just hurricanes.
yeah. No, thank you for your intro. Look, I could tell you were a pro because you knew how to like get in there, let the people know the information. And I love that, Keyshawn. You know what? I want to back up a little bit just to give
Okay.
people a little bit of understanding of a hurricane ready impact windows and doors. So let us know, how did this business come about? Like what was it about this particular business that you said, I need to start this and do this in our community?
Well, I guess, in South Florida, there's kind of a unrelenting demand driven by the hurricanes. I mean, climate
Hmm.
change is real and we're going to have more and more storms. But at the same time, like I'm a Floridian, I grew up here for most of my life. I've dealt with Andrew and everything else past Andrew. And the thing is, why be scared of a storm? I mean, you can think about natural disasters. I don't want to deal with earthquakes or tsunamis or volcanoes. I know 2 weeks ahead of time that a storm might hit. So why is this a thing that scares people? It shouldn't. We should be prepared. We have impact windows. We have roofs. We have very strong houses in South Florida. We have codes that we can live up to. We just have to update our homes as the weather has changed on us, right? So,
Yeah.
but I got into the business. I was in the restaurant business before, and I come from a family of entrepreneurs. I know I told you before. My father had the Broward Times. I've seen him start a dozen businesses here in Florida, in New York, and in the Bahamas.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
I had restaurants. I was a franchisee of Golden Crust for many years. And the thing is, you know what I like? I like customer service. I mean, every business is essentially the same. Restaurant business is one of those tough industries. And after I got out of that business, I wanted to do something that was more project oriented. Because the part about opening restaurants, the fun part was opening the restaurant. So that's kind of how I got my experience doing kind of contracting work. And
Mhm.
I took a little time off after leaving the restaurant industry and thought about what I wanted to do. And I wanted to, I'm not a lazy person, like always being involved and talking to people. And I started running into guys that had impact window business, or I had a quote on my home and I looked at this price and I was like, oh my goodness, this must be a good business. I started looking into it. And it's something that I think I'm pretty good at so far. I mean, it's project. It's about making a home look beautiful. I mean, it's not just hurricanes. The windows are the eyes of your home, and as
Mhm.
homes are all getting older, I mean, the average home here in Florida might be 20, 25 years old, and you have old windows. When you update the windows, it looks like a brand new house. So it's something that I
That's
kind of
true.
enjoy. It's very rewarding when you have a project that starts and finishes it within 8 weeks, 8 to 12 weeks. So, and then I get to work with really great tradesmen. So I employ a lot of good people that really
Wow.
care about doing good work in your home. Um, and that's why I got into the business. So it seems like it has a lot of natural potential, and that's also the thing you always look for in starting any business. You want growth, right? Just like with the restaurants, having a Caribbean restaurant in South Florida, I got into that because there's a lot of people like me, of Caribbean descent, like you, that
Yeah.
eat the food. I mean, you eat it every day,
Yeah.
and we did very well in that business because of that. So the same thing with impact windows and doors. There's a lot of homes all through not only South Florida, all Florida, because the hurricanes are going further north. They're hitting the West Coast,
Mhm.
and there's just a natural demand for it. So if I am better than the average person, I should do pretty well in the business.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I love that. And Keyshawn, you and I connected way back from your restaurant days.
Yes.
And just seeing the hustle and grind of you and your family and now seeing you in this new business is amazing. And kudos, and not it's like a real, definitely needed service. I want to know from you, is there something that homeowners or people looking to replace their windows should know? Like, is there like something that lets them know like, hey, maybe it's time to get these windows replaced, or what are some things that they should be looking out for?
Well, the thing is, hurricanes is something to think about. Hurricane season is coming up, so we're kind of, in that timeline. Call me now if you want windows. So that's something to think about, just a long-term value of a home. Of all home improvement things that you can do to your home, windows add the most value to your home. You're going to resell your home, and
Mm,
you're going to make money on putting windows in your home because people want to buy a home that is resilient and will, survive a storm. And the thing is, the windows may be more important than the roof, is what people don't realize. Because what happens structurally, if your window breaks, the pressure differential in your home rips the roof off your home. So you want good windows. And the thing
oh,
is, some people don't think about this. Sometimes you're out of town when a hurricane hits. You can't rush back and put shutters up, so you're out of luck. So that's why the windows are very important. I think that something that, to me, that's more important than even hurricanes is we spend a lot of money every month on electricity. Florida's a hot state.
yes,
And
it
that's one of
is.
the big, huge things that you save with windows. You reduce the amount of power that you're going to use. Your AC is going to run less. That's because these windows are thicker. They offer insulation. They prevent the sun from heating up the inside of your home. So you can drop your power bills by 40 or 50% by putting in windows. If that's where you lose most of your energy through your home, is through your windows. After that, you can insulate your home, which is actually pretty affordable to do, and you will save quite a bit of money on windows.
Really?
Something that people don't think about is, or a lot of people think about security a lot, but they don't realize what's the easiest way for someone to get in your home? Through your windows. So if you have builder's grade windows, you could take a rock and just, you could knock in a window and break in a home. And we all feel safe in gated communities. Hey, they're not as safe as you think. You still have to protect your home and lock up your home. Impact windows prevent that. It's very hard to break into a home with impact windows.
Really?
Yeah, you can't. It's yeah. They might as well go through the wall, in my opinion. It's if you want to get in, you need to have the special tools, and you make a lot of noise, right? And that's what
Wow.
the windows do. They might be able to crack a window, but they're not getting through that interlayer in the middle. And that's what offers the storm protection. It prevents that window, even if a coconut or brick or 2x4 flies into your window, the outside is not getting in because that layer of material in between is not easy to break. So,
Wow. I
it
had
so it
no
offers a lot of,
idea
yeah,
that.
so even like, if to replace windows in neighborhoods where people had bars on the windows, and I say, hey, you don't need these bars in your windows anymore. You have impact windows. And they feel better about it, right? So it's a good
Mm.
security thing. It makes your home look better. Um, what else is there? Also, a big thing. Some people live in or they have noisy neighbors, and these windows dampen the amount of sound that you hear in your home, so you have a quieter home. And
Really?
yeah, yeah. So that's another complaint that I get from customers. And even like you read the usually impact window is about 5/16 inches thick. That's good, but if you want to get more sound protection, you get a thicker window, 7/16 or even 9/16, depending where you are. But it makes it more comfortable being in your home, and you can't control the sound outside when someone's cutting the grass or someone's having a loud party next door. The kids want to
Or
sleep.
barking dog.
Yeah, barking dog. So it makes the house quieter, and it makes the storms kind of nice because even when you have a storm where the hurricane's going by, you can watch it almost in silence. um, and you don't have to go rush to put anything up, which is a thing that I find like about good enough. 25% of my customers are elderly or senior citizens, and the thing is they can't go out and put up plywood, or they even if they have
Mm.
accordions, it's hard to put up the accordions. So it's easier for them to get impact windows because they don't have to try to get on the ladder and do the work themselves. They don't have to ask anybody for help, and it's just a lot of really good benefits to that. It also reduces your insurance. I mean, if you don't have shutters or windows, your insurance might be up to 20% higher. So that's a good
Mm.
savings. And then, like the biggest thing is, I don't like people rushing to get prepared. I get fatigued as well thinking about. I don't like watching the news about every storm. I'd say impact windows and doors. It's always on protection. You are ready to go no matter what happens. So if a hurricane's coming, not coming, you are fine. You don't have to get up and do anything other than have your batteries and download some movies to weather out the storm.
No, honestly, and see, oh, you're a Morehouse man. Somebody knows you in the chat.
Oh, what? Yep, yep. Class '03.
Oh wow. What's up? Shout out to all the HBCU grads. Shout out to Morehouse. Look, Keyshawn, the interesting thing, I'm thinking we're gonna have a conversation about hurricanes. Who knew all the I would have not known all the benefits that go into um hurricane impact door. So not impact on windows. The thing is if you get this investment, you're not only protecting your home from a storm, but from burglary, from a high bills. Like it's so many
Yeah,
benefits to this. And so definitely people, if you guys need windows this is a great time to get them to prepare. But also too, there's so many long-term things. It's going to help you throughout the year, throughout all the seasons,
yeah.
and not just hurricane season.
And
Had
I,
no
I
idea.
and I feel like it's a better way. I know we all have insurance, but we see how insurance is getting more and more expensive. And then even
Hmm.
when the storm hits, the insurance companies don't even pay you for a long time. So, for me, I'd rather not be inconvenienced and rather be prepared so I don't have to use my insurance if possible. So, I mean, and
Yeah.
then, and then something that people, they look at the windows. Windows aren't cheap. I can't cover that one up. I mean, they do add a lot of value to your home, but there's a lot of ways that we can help you get finance. So I can help
Oh,
get you
really?
finance. There's also the PACE program, which, do I have time to get into it, or that's probably going to be a question? It's called the Property Assessed Clean
Yeah, tell us,
Energy.
real quick. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a financing mechanism. It's not a loan. Um, so I have some notes on it. It's a voluntary assessment added to the property tax, and it's paid over a term of 5 to 20 years. For impact windows and doors, it's 20 years. So that means that you have a very low payment. So people are often surprised that, hey, you can put $50,000 of windows in your home and your payment's very low.
Wow.
Um, you pay it with your property tax. Now the thing is, you do have to pay it. It's tied. There's a lien on your home, or there's a priority lien on your home. So if you don't pay it, you can get in trouble. But it's actually a very great way because it's cheap. It's cheaper than most HELOCs. Um, and I offer financing with Home Run Finance, Renew Financial, and Y Green. And it's very easy. It doesn't impact your debt to income level or debt to income score because it's tied to your home, not to your personal credit. So it's very easy to do.
Wow. Look, it's a lot of people saying like they didn't know the benefits. There's some people who already have them are saying that like look, Papa Keith, shout
Papa
out to
Keith
Papa
says,
Keith. Yeah, in the comments, but he said someone tried to break into his restaurant and he had a hurricane windows and doors and it saved him. Like
yeah.
I'm like, now I'm gonna go because we have a new house. I'm gonna ask my fiance, like, did we get hurricane
Hey,
impact
you call,
windows?
and I'm giving a 10% discount to anybody that calls me this month and gets Windows, okay?
Come on now,
Nine
go
five
get.
four 247 4762.
Yes. Oh, well, I'm gonna put up your website too, just for them
Okay.
to be able to see that as well. But um, man, this is really, really beneficial. Like I had no idea like how deep this was, but and then even to your point, especially a lot of us, especially some of our grandparents, our aunties, and uncles have those bars on their windows. Auntie, grandma, get that off the window. Makes the house look better, but also too safe. You get what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
so many different angles to this. Thank you for breaking that down. Like also too. Oh, what's your service area, Keyshawn?
I cover everything from Palm Beach down to Broward County and Miami-Dade. And I was going to say
Okay.
one thing. Sometimes I know when people look for these window companies, they call whoever the biggest guy is. Watch out because there's some people that have very aggressive sales tactics and they prey on Black people,
Mhm.
immigrants, and the elderly. And that's
Really?
a big pet peeve of mine. I'm a very honest company. I know a couple others. If you don't want to use me, that would even recommend. Some of these companies come in your house and they spend 2 hours and they try to force you to buy something. It's not my technique. I want you to want
Mm.
something. If you call me, I know you want something. I'm going to give you a good, fair price. I'm not going to sit there and try to force you to sign a contract. And that's something
Yeah.
that I think it plagues the industry. I think even with contractors, with home improvement projects, it's something I always encourage, especially seniors, to watch out for. So I always tell people to get 2 or 3 quotes. Call somebody that's not the first guy pops up on Google. It's spending $30,000 a month on Google Ads to trick you with fake reviews, and
No,
sign you for a job. And they don't, I've seen people pay twice, 3 times as much for a job just because they fell for very aggressive sales tactics.
and honestly, too, another thing is, and of course, we're a show and for everybody, but we highlight Black and Brown entrepreneurs. You're homegrown, Black-owned business,
Mhm.
Caribbean, owned business. Like you check all these boxes. So why this is what we talk about when we say supporting our own, recycling the Black dollar. Also, too, speaking of like it's Juneteenth, and we're talking about celebrating us and liberation and collaboration. This is a way not only are we benefiting our home, but we're benefiting somebody from our community and supporting a Black owned business. So
Yeah.
guys, y'all save this interview. We're gonna clip this, do an individual video and article so people can find it easy. Also, too, for SEO for you, Keyshawn. But definitely like this is something that most people have to deal with. And look, we got Claudia Ann Smith, a realtor. She knows about hurricane impact windows. Like, look, this is something adding value, all of these things for your home, but also too, we're supporting a Black owned business. So we definitely got to do that.
Oh, I appreciate the support, and I'll be real with you. I came up on Black-owned business. I told you, my father had businesses. It was Black people patronizing those businesses that put me through private school and Morehouse College, right? Even the restaurants that put my kids through school. Most of my customers were other people that looked like me, or people of the
Mm,
diaspora in some way. And I think it's very important to support Black-owned business, and I'm the result of that, and that's why I will do well, not only because I'm dealing with just Black people, because I do good business, and that good business, other people will recognize it. I just feel like certain people, you get a chance from your own people, will give you a chance, a fair chance.
mhm.
And then once you have the reputation, everybody else gives you a chance.
That is for sure. And also, too, you're someone who also reciprocates. You supported High Low News over the years in different forms. And so not only do you walk the walk, you talk the talk. Like, so just want to definitely give you your kudos and your flowers here
Yeah.
on this platform because you're just that collaborative economics, like that's something that you really believe in and live by. So just definitely want to say thank you for that.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. Kishon, before I let you go, is there anything else you want people to know? How can they follow you? I got the website scrolling at the bottom of the screen, but just let them know how they could connect with you when they need to get their impact windows and doors and tell their family and their grandma and their aunties and their cousins and their friends.
Well, I say, hey, go to the website, book an appointment if you see an opening on there. I have an open calendar, or give me a call 954-247-4762. We provide comprehensive, always on protection. We offer impact windows and doors. That's what we focus on. We can do shutters too, but it's windows and doors is what our specialty is. We will deliver peace of mind, security, energy efficiency, and quiet comfort every day of the year. We install with confidence. We have great products, and we that meet the Florida's toughest standards. And we do really good work. Do really good installs.
Yes, I love it, love it, love it. Look, Kishon, you've been a friend of the show. Come back anytime if you have like a discount. You want if there's something trending and new in the technology or the world of hurricane readiness. Come back on the show, inform the people. I'm like really loving the comments. People are learning, so definitely you got to come back and drop that information and that knowledge
Or
for us about this.
anytime, and even if it's business stuff, I mean, I could always talk about business stuff,
Oh,
franchising, other
okay.
things. I'm open to it all.
Oh, that Keyshawn, y'all, we gonna do a conversation about franchising because I didn't want to, I didn't want to get into all of the restaurant stuff. Like, but if you want to talk
Some I
about, no, you
can't
can't
talk
go too
about.
deep. We ain't got to get into all the details,
Yeah.
but you know a lot about that franchising world. So I think that would be a really, really dope conversation because a lot of us don't know how to get in and certain
Mhm.
things to look out for or how to, get a successful business. So I think that would be really dope to have a conversation just about that business structure because I don't
Yeah,
know a lot of Black franchisees.
yeah, I'm always open. I always people always ask me. I've consulted people on it before. There's a lot of things to watch out for. It's hard to
Mm,
choose the right one. And you know what? The thing is, it's a lot of money to start any business, even a franchise. So I like saving people money. It's a very
mm.
daunting decision to make. So be happy to come on and talk about any of that stuff.
Yes, let's do it. Look, so we already got to set up our second conversation. Thank you so much for coming on, Keyshawn. I appreciated this. I learned so much, and now I gotta go check my windows and throw a brick through it. Make sure nothing else. I'm
Oh,
just
no, don't do that. But call me. I'll come and check them.
to check it. That's not the way to check it.
No, that's not the way to check them. I'll come out and give you a free estimate.
Most definitely. I'm just playing.
Yeah, but if
Y'all
you
don't
want to
do
see if
that.
you have impact windows, if you're not sure, you can look at the bottom of the windows, either left or right, and there should be an etching, and you'll see that it'll say if it's an impact window or door.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
it'll say something tempered. I can show you. There's other ways to check. The best way is to call me, and I can figure it out pretty quickly.
No, we just gonna call you and let you do the thing
Yeah.
because I ain't
Right.
even finna be here
Okay.
looking at the
247 954 247 4762.
Definitely. Yeah. Yeah. Let's drop some fire, some comments, some applause for Keyshawn in the comments. Thank you so much for coming on. This was definitely helpful information. And I appreciate you for coming on and sharing this and letting people know that what we need to look out for hurricane season, but just also too for, the safety of our homes. So thank you so much. And God bless with everything with Hurricane Ready.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Man, that was a great conversation. Thank you, Keyshawn.
No problem.
Y'all, did y'all learn? I had no idea hurricane windows, impact windows, and doors did all of those things, all of those benefits. Like, I'm legit going to check my windows because I think we do, but I'm not sure. But definitely living in a place where we get hurricanes, you don't want to be caught slipping. Something flying through your window. I remember as a kid when Andrew hit, a tree came through, all type of stuff came through my grandma window growing up, and that was over there for a while. Like that tree was down for a while, all in the house and in the windows. Yes, thank y'all. Like she probably still gonna throw a brick through the windows because she looking at kids. No, I'm not gonna throw a brick through the windows. I promise y'all. I'm not in my new house, not in my goddamn new house. Look, y'all, I dressed up for company. Keyshawn can I take this blazer off? Because I'm about to melt through the thing. I am about to, oh my gosh, it is hot. Y'all don't be understanding all, first of all, and then my mic want to act stupid. Hold on. Can I get a quick little side step real quick? I gotta type in my microphone. She acting silly. No. I'm a one person production. I don't got the CNN producer. I don't have the Channel 7 producers. I don't have all of that. Okay. It's just me in here. Whew. Can I take I'm not I can't keep that blazer on. I tell you that. Am I good on the volume with y'all? Am I good on the volume with y'all? Look, we didn't have too much stuff on the docket today, but I also felt like the conversation was going to need some time to cook. And if anybody saw the headline for today's episode, we are talking about a hot button issue in South Florida. And what brought this to my attention is the ICE raids across the country. And we all know that South Florida has a big immigrant population, right? And so I'm like, one of my I always give him shout outs, I always talk about him. Oh, thank you. The mic is good. I always talk about Funky Dineva, Quentin Latham, who's a Miami native, but is a huge culture critic and has a big YouTube social media following. And he was talking about the ICE raids, and he's from Carroll City. And of course, the dynamic of Black people and Cubans in Miami came up in his conversation. Um, and I was just like, you know what, Funky, you know what? Like, I feel the same way. I feel there's this inner conflict that I have, and it's not individually, because of course we all know Latinx people, Hispanic people, specifically, I'm talking about, the Cuban power structure in South Florida. Like, we all know Cuban people, Spanish people that we cool with, right? Um, and I'm not talking about mommy who live across the street from you, or the store that you go to, you get your good sandwiches of food, or your handyman, or the business that you go to. Them, but I say individually, one-on-one, a lot of times people be cool. But the overall powers dynamic is racist, it's elitist, it's exclusionary, it doesn't have equity. And I just find it so sometimes baffling to me, because people who came from an oppressive state are doing the same thing to people. And actually, we look like a lot of the people that's still in Cuba that couldn't come over here. I probably look more Cuban than a lot of the white, like, it's a lot of Cubans that look like me. So it's been a conflicting thing to see these they not chasing me out Miami. What's up, Tim? What's up, Mr. Reed? Look, I just can we have a real conversation? And I'll open up the chat line if anybody want to come in here and have this conversation with me. But I want to go to, let me see if this article is up on our website yet. Because I have shout out to our hard news reporter, Tori Brown. We were working on a story because after seeing, Quentin's commentary, and then seeing I don't know if anybody's seen the Cuban lady who went viral. I think her name is Angelina, and she was like, I understand why Black people aren't coming out. And she's like, how dare we ask them to come out? We should be kissing their ass. Like, and it was so refreshing and affirming to see a Cuban woman, and she grew up here in Miami, to say that. It felt like, oh my gosh, it felt so good to not be gaslit, because so many times the Hispanic they'll be like, that's not me, and blah blah blah. I'm not like, no, you need to and the real ones know, they'll acknowledge the racism and the colorism within their own communities, but some of them try to act like it's just a thing that we making up. And in Miami, our unique experience of the power dynamic, and when we talk about, can we be, I'm gonna be real. People be saying this about around the country when they say, oh, taking jobs, taking jobs. We know a lot of those jobs outside of South Florida, they talking about different low skilled jobs, a lot of domestic work, farm work, stuff like that. Those are the jobs a lot of that people do across the country, right? In South Florida, that's not the T. I know people who work at Jackson Hospital, and the things that they tell me that go on. I know people who work in Miami-Dade County Corrections. And the things that they tell me going on, I know people that work for different hospitals and municipalities and big corporations in South Florida, and the things that they tell me with the nepotism that goes on in these organizations, they literally are taking the jobs from Black people and giving it to their friends. Some things I hear, the people don't even be qualified to do the job. And sometimes, people will tell me, just for context, and I can't go into detail and say where or what department or even the company. But one story I was told recently was a woman was put into a director position, and she asked a question that an entry-level person should have known. And people who had been working there for years were like, how's she asking about this? And this what you supposed to know just at the base level to have this job. It be shit like that. And you like, but Wanda back here been working for the job for 15, 20 years, keep applying to be the manager, the director, and they keep giving it to people that look like them. And then you come to find out they sister-in-law or brother-in-law or cousin-in-law or this thing, like nepotism gone crazy in Miami. Please. So when we in Miami talk about the Black Hispanic, and for us, y'all are like, for me, it took me a long time to be like, Spanish people wasn't Cuban. Like, when I started seeing people say like the default around the country is like, well, depending on where you're from, if you're out west, the default is Mexican. If you up north in New York, that's Puerto Rican, that's Boricua, Central, like a lot of them is that. And Miami, Spanish people is Cuban to me. It was for a very long time until, I educated myself and know that there's different, that the Latin diaspora. But for a long time, that's what it is. And so when I think about the power dynamics and the unfair treatment of Black people and how we don't get equity, I think the county and the school board spends way less than the percentage of Black people. It's something about maybe about 20% Black people living in Miami-Dade County. I think the county and the school board, Miami-Dade County School, spends maybe less than 10% with Black-owned businesses. And I may be giving them a real generous number only because I don't have the facts right now. I do know it's less than 10%. It could be less than 5%. I remember when I was reporting on this back in the day, it was 3% with the school board. So we make up 20% of the population. And at the time, they were only spending 3%. 3%. So, child. So when we start looking at these ICE raids and we looking at the deportation and we seeing the unfair treatment, first of all, I'm gonna get to that point. Let me let this cook a little bit. When we seeing that, and let me know in the chat if y'all feel the same way as me. I feel like, let me run out there and march. First of all, anybody who will wear a hat like this ain't the marching type. Y'all know I ain't march. I think I did one little hot demonstration before, maybe two. Because it was hot, that ain't for me. I have been a part of movement. Shout out to Life Collective, where I played my role, and my role was communications and media. And I was getting the press out there to our events. I was managing our social media. I was getting the local TV stations and the newspapers. If we had a protest, if we had a release going out, I did my role. So I understand my role in the movement is communications. Whatever y'all need, you need it written, you need it proofread, you need it pushed out to the media, you need a strategy for the media. I got you. You're right. I can't march at my big 37. At big 37 years old, I can't do it. Not marching, I can't do it anyway. Can't. But I can be a part of it. I didn't even feel so inclined to do the most for this. Like how I was with George Floyd and messaging and what's going on and the ICE raids and the protests. The No Kings Day. I didn't feel like I needed to be out there. First of all, let's be real. As Black people, and shout out to Amanda Seals and shout out to Funky as well. These people, I heard them speaking this commentary, even Roland Martin, Don Lemon, like all the people I follow, they're like, as Black people, we mess around, get out there, and somebody hit me first. I get hit first for the Spanish protests, for the immigrants. Like, they look for any reason to fuck us up. So going and rushing into harm's way didn't seem appealing to me, and it didn't seem appealing to a lot of Black people, right? So that's one thing. But also, just from the dynamics of growing up in Miami and how the colorism and the racism is rampant in the Cuban community. And let's be real, my auntie in the chat, I don't know if she's still here. But auntie, I remember a time you took us down. We was in downtown Miami in one of them little Spanish shops. You took us back to school shopping, and we was walking around, and I didn't notice it. I had to be maybe in 5th or 6th grade. And a lady was following us all around the store. I'm thinking she being helpful. The way my auntie snapped on that hoe, she said, "Don't follow us no more. We don't need no." She said, "You think we stealing? You think we stealing?" And she like, "No, ain't no mommy. I ain't know." And she said, "Back up, back up. She not stealing. I ain't even know the lady was following me around the store." My auntie peeped it. See, that's why you got to have people who know, and you got to teach your kids, because especially the ones who grow up in these environments where that's more multicultural. Maybe they got some Spanish and white, Asian, all of the rainbow friends. They're not as sensitive or knowing when something is happening. And because I had never experienced that, I'm just thinking the ladies walking around the store monitoring maybe if I need help. My auntie peeped. She thought I was going to steal out of there. And that was my first time. And I had to, like I said, be in the 5th or 6th grade, where I was like, wait, the Spanish lady think I'm a steal? She think I'm a steal? Like, who she like, why? And my auntie, she going off, and she's like, "Cause we Black." Like, that's why she think we gonna steal. Yep. I don't know if you remember that auntie snapped on that lady. I said, "Oh," and I was like, "With this auntie, auntie, that's the right one." Very much where y'all grew up, Auntie 43rd Street, very much Liberty City, very much will get you together. Okay. So I definitely was so happy that I was very much happy that she was there to protect me and show me in that moment. And from then on, when I went into those spaces, I was very cognizant of it, and knowing that if they following me around, it's not because they want to help me, it's because they think I'm stealing from the store. And in my mind at that time, I'm thinking it's a Black white thing. And that was the first time that I realized, like, oh no, in Miami, this is a Spanish Black thing. This not a Black and white, they not on our side. Um, Let me read some of these comments. I'm loving this hat. Don't motherfucker play. It's giving Hillary Banks meets Jaleesa from Different World. Yes. I was waiting on you, friend, and at the door. You the rainbow friends is sending me. What's the rainbow friends? What's the rainbow friends? Um, but yeah, so our experience in South Florida with Cubans, and that's just me one example of going into a business. I had a friend tell me he grew up, I think he used in the city. So I think he used to go to Moore Park and the kids with the United Nation friends. Um, but I had a friend tell me that growing up, he would go, I think, over there to Moore Park or in Hialeah, because I think it was near where he stayed or whatever. And he said the way them police used to be beating him and his friends up, just jumping out on them because they Black and young in an area that Black people shouldn't be in. And that's another thing too. Can we talk about that, Miami people? Because a lot of them are on the police force and in law enforcement. Our interaction with cops aren't white people. It's Spanish men. So getting beat up by a bunch of Spanish police is a very real thing for Black men in South Florida. I remember I never got beat up. They're a little bit more, they be nice to me. They be nice. But I do remember this woman. I don't know, she was a Black woman though, but she called all these police on me because I forgot to cut my headlights on. Spanish police, all them guns drawn at me. I was just like, it's I'm clearly a woman. Why do y'all need all these guns? And in my mind, I was like, oh my gosh, I can only imagine what a black man must go through if they feel like I'm that much of a threat. And all of that to say, our dynamic with power and police in South Florida is Cuban Spanish people. So when they get out there marching and they saying, "Oh, I know vote for this with Donald Trump and he sending back and we need to go no King's Day and this is wrong." Y'all gotta understand, if you watching this and you're not from South Florida, you're not from where we from, you gotta understand that our dynamic and our pain and our friction with them is much different. Because if you in New York, the power structure ain't Spanish people. So y'all living harmoniously. If you out in LA, the power structure, I don't know too much, but it ain't, Mexicans running everything. You get what I'm saying? It's a bit more diverse. Miami Cubans run. They run our shit. And kudos to the ones who are allies who get it and who know. But the ones who don't, when we see stuff like this, we're not quick to jump in. And it's not just more so from we tired from the election, because we are tired from the election, but it's not so much that we're tired from that. We're tired of how y'all been treating us. We tired of the fact that y'all have not worked with us. When people first came over here and the Mariella boat lift and the wet foot, dry foot, the way they treat Haitian immigrants versus Cuban immigrants, we all know that's racism. It's because one is black and one is white. One has a people in power, Cubans, and the other one didn't. So you think all the black people sitting at home when we watch a Channel 7 and Channel 10 and we see the Cuban person getting over to be able to touch the land and they get to stay, but a bunch of Haitians come over and y'all send them back? Y'all think we ain't see that and clock it for the racism that it was? And I remember my mama vividly explaining that to me. I remember this news story, Puerto Ricans, blacks are to get, yep, in New York, but not, I mean, ain't too many that's the thing. The Puerto Ricans in Miami, they more down with us, but the Cubans and them Venezuelans, them, huh. But I remember watching as a kid, it was a Spanish Cuban man came over on something that they made floating in on the water. And they had the news out there and he was running, trying to get over because the wet foot, dry foot. If you can make it to dry land, you get to stay. And I remember, hey, what's up? I remember the man running and he made it. And my mama was like, see, if that was a Haitian, they would have sent him back. And it's because, the Cubans involved and it's racist because Haitian's black and the Cubans is white. And I was like, really? And I remember seeing not too far after that, a story with Haitian immigrants making it to the United States and them sending them back. And I said, dang. And then so these images that I've been seeing for 37 years in South Florida of the race relations between the ethnicities in South Florida and the power structure. And so also too, back to the voting point, what was this? Almost 70% of Cubans, registered Cuban Republicans, voted for Donald Trump, right? In Miami-Dade County. And so when we see that, and then we see what he's doing to your people, your cousins, your family members, right? And then y'all like, come help us. Black people should be out here with us. Should we? No. Should we? I haven't really seen too much of the coverage of any Spanish people in Miami saying this. But if any of y'all fix y'all mouth to say we should help y'all, y'all know y'all a goddamn shame. Because y'all know how collectively the power structure treats black people in Miami-Dade County. And just South Florida as a general. Broward don't have too much because they got a different power structure over there. They over there, but not as much as in Miami, right? But we should help y'all. And I'm so glad this lady said this. Matter of fact, if you have not seen it, let me find the I'm gonna find the clip for y'all so y'all could see what Miss Mama said, because it was that on point. Have y'all seen what the lady said on the Cuban lady said on Instagram, where she was like, we ain't the black people, we should be kissing they ASS. Let me find it for y'all because I got the link for y'all while I'm looking for that. Drop some hats in the comments if y'all like it. If y'all liking my hat. Oh, I thought I sent them. Dang it, man. Let me see if I can find it real quick, real quick. Real quick, real quick. Here it go. Here it go. Mama was on point. Mama was on point. Getting the people together. I saw it. Her friend was like, nah, I ain't with that. I remember the friend did say that. The friend did say that. Oh, thank you for my hat, friend. Surprise, what you said? Surprise Cubans. Trumps don't care about you either. Up. And that's what we say. F around and found out. Wait, what is given? Is that a magic hat, Julius? What them emojis mean? Let me share this with y'all. The HD camera got my eyes looking real weird.
100%. African American community is the only community that has the power in this country to change anything. They are the only one with the experience of civil matter. They are the only one que tenían el esclavo ahí mismitico. They are the only one that are not going to get deported anywhere, and you cannot put them all in jail. So African American community, which is the community that is stepped on by Cubans, the most are the only ones that are going to save the Latinos. And I clap for the African American community that has not come out because it is not. I do. We didn't do shit for them.
I get it.
But I don't. Me and you support, but in masses, we didn't support anything that was going with them. Latinos look at Cubans specifically. I'm not gonna talk about any other community because I'm not part of that community, even though I'm a Latina with them. Cubans talk shit about African Americans. Cubans did not support African Americans. Cubans think that they all victimize themselves, that of this, all of that. African Americans are the only ones that are going to save your ass as Latinos. So you better start kissing. If you're going to kiss some ass in this country, you better kiss some black ass. La única comunidad que nos va a sacar de este hueco se llama...
La única. Brian, which inbox? I'm going to check on Facebook. Brian, check there. I'll check it. But when she said, I felt so vindicated when she said we Cubans talk shit about black people, because we all know that. The lady wasn't Cuban, but I'm pretty sure a lot of Miami people don't have this experience. I used to work at Nordstrom in Aventura, and I remember I worked in the accessories department, so we had to box up people's stuff. Okay, Selena was talking. Tony, get out. What is wrong with you, Tony? I know a lot of people kissing black ass. Let me know if y'all need to connect. Julius, get out my. You and Tony is be cutting up in the comments. I love it. But back to my story. So I used to work at Nordstrom in Aventura, right? And so I worked in the accessories department. So we had to box up people's stuff or whatever, and we worked on commission, base pay plus commission, right? And so everybody whoever came over to the section first and you helped them, that was your customer. You got the commission. So this Spanish lady came or whatever, and I was like, helping her with her stuff and being nice. And I was like, going to wrap up her stuff. And when she saw my Spanish coworker, she started talking in Spanish, and the energy was a little weird. And I was just like, y'all know that energy that the Spanish gives us when we know they speaking and it may be about us. So I was just like, okay, whatever. And so the girl, she kind of pulled me to the side before the lady left, and she was like, I don't want to work with her. She's like, she just told me, why you letting that don't let that black girl touch my stuff. You should handle it. Don't let her touch it. And I was like, so she probably should have told me that after the lady left. So I had to finish the transaction. But one thing I do like what my Spanish coworker did, she was like, she said something to her like, no, you're her customer. She helped you first. So she's going to finish bringing you up. And we both just sat there, and the lady had like a whole little attitude. So I rung her up, and I thank the girl for standing up for me. And also too, making her be like, no, bitch, she finna touch all over your stuff then. Okay. And I was like, dang, like that was one of the few times I've experienced like real racism. And the crazy part is I have not experienced racism, overt racism from white people, because there's not a lot of white people that I engage with in Miami. It'd be Spanish people. And I think that lady was Venezuelan, the girl told me. But whatever the case is, baby, whatever she was not black. She was not white either. And I was like, I've never really experienced like hardcore racism from white people. It's been from Spanish people. So that story that I just told y'all when my auntie had to get that lady together in that downtown Miami store, Spanish girl. And the lady told me she didn't want me touching her stuff because I'm black, Spanish woman. Somebody calling me the N-word in traffic, yelled it out at me, Spanish man. Like that wasn't no white person. Like I don't know white people. So when y'all say come to where y'all at, y'all need to just cut. Y'all ever seen that Bugs Bunny commercial where he's sawing off Florida and they kicking it in the water? When it comes, that's what y'all need to do for the black people. Just saw off Miami. Matter of fact, go up to West Palm Beach, cut it off, and kick us out the thing, because we not coming until y'all address the racism, until y'all address the colorism, until y'all address the imbalanced power structure in Miami-Dade County and how inequitable it is when it comes to housing and resources and jobs and who y'all promote within these big organizations and corporations and municipalities. Until y'all address those things, then come holler at us. And maybe I'll think about coming out there and maybe I'll write a little press release for you. But until then, until y'all get y'all house in order with us in Miami, don't ask me to protest. Don't ask me to do none of that. I will send love. I will send prayers. I will send positive energy. Hell no, not Palm Beach. Oh, well, Palm Beach don't be racist like that. Marazi photos. I don't believe in the negative things that are happening to kids and families and breaking them up. I don't believe that, because a lot of these people are hardworking people. They pay taxes. You know, it's not an easy thing to get your legal status in this country. A lot of these people are good people. So I'm not for dehumanizing people and treating them like shit. So there, by no means am I saying what I think is happening with the ICE raids across this country is fair or right. It should not be happening. It's not right, and we do need to figure out the immigration system in our country. Right. With that being said, because of my unique lived experience as a black woman in South Florida, as a black woman in Miami, Carroll City, went to Carroll City, went to Northwestern, went to Myrtle Grove, went to Parkway, went to FIU, worked at Aventura, all the stores in there. As a person who my mama worked at Jackson, grandma worked at Parkway, auntie worked at Villa Maria and Robin Hood. As somebody, auntie worked at Corrections, as somebody deep in Miami-Dade County, hearing the stories, hearing the experiences, my own lived experiences. You couldn't have paid me to go out there to the Miami No Kings Day protest. Sorry, not doing it. Not doing it. Won't do it. Next to the Republican Cubans who don't want me to get a job, who don't want me to touch your stuff because I'm black, the one who want to follow me all around downtown Miami, that one, them, no. Nah. I will send thoughts and prayers. I will send positive energy. Actually, one of my fellow grantees, he's doing some work out on the West Coast in California. I'm going to be reposting one of his articles. He has a donation link for people. I'll do my part in my own way, but for me to go out there and put myself in physical harm out next to y'all and some anti-ICE protests, and you don't even want me to touch your stuff because my skin is chocolate, because of the color of my skin, when you beating up my brothers and my cousins and my friends because they want to play at a basketball court, y'all doing some real Jim Crow shit, Cubans. Y'all been doing it. until y'all check y'all shit in Miami, don't ask us. Don't ask us for nothing. Yep, that's my Spanish. That's my Spanishy way of saying it. Don't ask us for it. We will send you thoughts and prayers. We will send you positive energy. The ones who fuck with us on one-on-one, we'll be there for them to support them. But as a whole power structure, people, we sitting this one out. We sitting them out. There's other culture affected by ICE in Miami also. That's a great point, Sade. And when the Jamaicans and Haitians and the Bahamians and all the African diaspora, when they had a march, I'm gonna be right there with them. Y'all see these cheekbones? You know, with some Caribbean in there. My family from the Bahamas and Haiti. I'm gonna be right there with them. Give me a Jamaican patty and a sign. Here I go. Not finna come out there with, because the ones I seen in Miami was mainly white and Cuban people. I ain't seen a lot of us out there. Let me know when this is the specific. Let me know when this is the specific one for the black immigrants. I'm right there with you. Give me some conch salad. We will be right there. I'll be damned if they take away my conch. I will be damned. Okay. Keep and around and find out for y'all Cubans. Haitian Jamaican South Florida is full of immigrants. Definitely. And that's a great point. That's a great point. And Sade, I don't know if you saw my point about the Haitian immigrants when I was saying the wet foot, dry foot policy, how they let Cuban immigrants in and not Haitians. Like, we saw all that growing up. I'm not with it. We not with it. I'll be right there. Conch salad, Jamaican patty, all the things me. Put on some soca, put on some reggae, come on, and we gonna march to the rhythms. March to give me a sign. That'll be the day. I get tear gas for some Jamaicans and Haitians and Bahamians and all the black immigrants. Cuban ones I'm just specifically talking about Cubans in Miami. Don't ask me to come protest with you. Don't ask me to be on the front lines with you when you don't even want me to get it. You don't even want me to get promoted at my job. I'm more qualified for the job. You in power and you choose the person because that's your cousin, baby mama, cousin-in-law, sister-in-law. And you choose him or her over me. And I've been sitting here at doggone Parkway Hospital for 25 years waiting for my turn. That shit is not right. And the bad part about it is we be so fair and willing to work with everybody. Still in Miami, we'll work with the Cubans, we'll work with the Spanish people, we work with people, but y'all won't work with us. Sick of it. And y'all need to stop with and them hospitals. I heard them hospitals damn near Jim Crow South. I heard they don't let the black peoples do nothing in the hospitals. I heard you can't Miami-Dade County hospitals, pick one. I heard them hospitals got it going on. What the Spanish people be doing, they just black, you get out. Spanish, you come in. I heard the makeup of the hiring in hospitals and getting above and accelerating. I heard hospitals, y'all, we gotta send some prayers and some candles and some oils to anybody that work in a hospital because they going through it. They going through it on the back end and the front end. They going through it with trying to elevate and having the management, with the nepotism and unfair treatment, and then they got an influx of they tell me they'll see Spanish immigrants coming in, have all type of papers and insurance, but the black people who come in could hardly pay for they hospital stay. They don't have the Medicare and all the benefits. Citizens of the United States. Make that make sense for me. Make that make sense to me. Cuban started selling out. Rib sandwich shot that. I slide out. Tony, shut up. We are not quitting. Hospitals are off the chain. I be hearing, and so maybe we should take a page out of there, but let's be that particular with our own. Sade, we should. I do think that our generation, and this is a millennial platform. Millennials now, the oldest millennial was born in 1980, right? So it's like 1980 to 1996, 97, depending on what chart you want to look at. Some people say 95. But I say millennial and Gen Z, I think we are to change those two generations. We're going to see some transformative change because we grew up in a way that we couldn't get the American dream as quickly as our parents and grandparents. We also are recognizing certain dynamics locally within our communities, right? And even in South Florida, I see a lot of like, I work a lot collaboratively with millennials and Gen Z. Like all of that fucking infighting that Gen X and baby boomers do and holding on to power, like millennials and Gen Z is like, we don't rock like that. We willing to work together. So I do have hope for the future that as we ascend more into more like serious levels of power, that we'll see a difference. Also, too, so many of us are entrepreneurs that we could go after different things together and contracts and how other people build their wealth, because we know them contracts be going to all the Spanish people in Miami. Also, too, something that I've heard about contracting, and I was giving out the stats earlier that even though Black people make up, pretty much 20% of Miami-Dade County's population, they get less than, I think, 10% of contracts, right? But I also heard it's because a lot of our businesses aren't structured to be able to take on these contracts. We don't be having the paperwork or the capacity. And I do think that with so many of us getting into entrepreneurship and figuring things out, and even myself on a certain level, like I'm starting to link up with people like the Avengers, and I'm like, okay, let's go after this and let's go after that. I think as we start gaining power and money and influence in this market, hopefully too many of us don't move away. you know, um, I don't care what y'all say. I'm a resident. I'm a resident. Check my ID, check my address, check what my car parked at, okay? But it's so if we don't move away and we stay back or even come back, we could come back. We could work too. It's a virtual world. We could be in multiple places. I think once we get to that level, I think we'll see 10, 15 years from now, I think we'll see a different Miami-Dade County if we start working together now and building those businesses. But it's just going to take time. And also, too, I hope that the baby boomers and the Gen Xers, those generations before us millennials, they start working a little bit more with us, because the thing is, a lot of times they get power so late to me that they don't be wanting to share or pass the torch or teach you or put you on game. Not all of them, but a lot of them. But we definitely need to be working more with our own and building our own. Like I just had the guy Hurricane Ready on my show. This man, a Black-owned business doing hurricane impact windows and doors. He like, come with me. He said a lot of times, sometimes them bigger companies be predatory. You got a homegrown person from Miami doing hurricane impact windows and doors. We support him. He supports the community. Like it's a whole ecosystem that we could create. But the way they stick together, we need to stick together. But also, too, power shouldn't be like that. If Black people got in power, I wouldn't want to see us pushing out another minority group either and saying, no, y'all stay down here and we gonna give jobs only to our own, and we gonna put our foot on your neck. We gonna beat your kids up at the basketball court. We gonna tell y'all not to touch our shit. We not gonna do that. So treating people as human being at a base level is just what I'm asking for just humanity as a whole. But in the meantime, you're right, Sade. Let's start linking up, y'all. Let's link up like what's the thing called Transformers? Let's start linking up like the Transformers on their ass. Because at the end of the day, what everybody respect in this country is money. City of Miami commissioners got their own mafia going on. Child, and Billy Corbin be on their ass. Y'all go check out Billy Corbin. He be on City of Miami ass. We gonna start digging into their stuff too. But West Park and Miami Gardens keep us busy enough with the city commissioners and all that stuff. But Miami, we be covering them too, and they be having it going on with all they stuff with they Spanish stuff. But yeah, child. How y'all feel? Is y'all marching? Okay? So survey says, let me read the first. While y'all ponder on that, let me form like Voltron. That's what it's called. Let me read this paragraph from this article that we have here on Hilo News. So Shout out to my hard news reporter Tori Brown. She was doing an amazing job. And you know, I had her working on this article. And so I was like, standing up or sitting out, should Black Miamians stand with Cubans amid mass ICE deportations? And just I'm gonna read just a few paragraphs. While many have taken to the streets to fight back against Trump's dangerous rhetoric and political moves, some Black folks are left wondering, is this our fight? The question rings specifically true for those living in Miami. The relationship between Cubans and Black people in South Florida has been underscored by political schisms and shifting populations for decades. As a result of the Cuban Adjustment Act, which granted Cubans preferential immigration status, Black residents in Miami have experienced anti-Blackness, political strife, lack of equitable access to funding and grants, and dwindling jobs. In a recent episode of the YouTube show Funky Dineva Live, host Quentin Latham, who goes by the stage name Funky Dineva, a pop culture commentator and Carroll City native, connected the hesitance many Black people have to join in on the fight to the fuck around and find out movement. Cubans are 1% of the population, but 58% of them voted for Trump in the most recent election. And 68% of South Florida Cubans showed support for Donald Trump in the 2024 poll, according to a poll conducted by FIU's poll. Sorry, got the words jumbled up, but FIU did a poll and they found out that information. And so I want to also too, while I have it up, let's play a little clip from Funky, because I actually want to show y'all what he had to say about this situation. And let me get to my page that I don't pay money for. Hold up. Did I get signed out? Oh, Miss Girl. Oh, Miss Girl, where are my channels? We are not finna do this. Can y'all see what I'm clicking on? Okay, here you go. Here you go.
Go to the women's leagues. Go to the canasta parties. Call on the white women. Call on the Jews. Call on the Hindu community. Call on the Asian community. Gloria Estefan ain't said nothing.
What Gloria at?
Gloria Estefan ain't said shit. So I'm not understanding how you want Tanika Williams and Latasha Scott to care more than Julio Estevez and Gloria Estefan. I'm not trying to be insensitive in this moment, but you got to make that make sense, baby. Where is Selma Hayek?
Where they at?
Where is Christina Aguilera? And all I'm looking for is a statement. I ain't expecting J-Lo. I am not expecting J-Lo to go out there and be on the front lines, but where is the statement? Where is the solidarity? Because I want to tell you something. As an outsider looking in, the message that your very own community is sending is that y'all are not worth it. Your own community is saying you're not worth it. We're outside of your community. So what do members of your community know that we don't know? Your own community is saying, child, please, them hoes ain't worth it. Y'all go around now. Y'all go around there and make it enough. Your own community is sending messages that y'all are not worth it. So what are we to believe? Being on the outside. J-Lo is Latino and she don't even think y'all worth it. Mario Lopez is Latino and he don't think y'all worth it. He know more about y'all than I do. So should I be taking my lead from y'all or should I be taking my lead from J-Lo and Mario Lopez? I'm confusion. Not trying to be cold, not trying to be nasty, just trying to be logical and rational and reasonable in this situation. I'm gonna move right along.
I mean, did he tell a lie? Did he tell a lie? He did not tell a lie. And here's the thing, like I said, we should all care about people when bad things are happening to them, right? Just on a human level, I don't want this to happen. I'm not saying goody for them. I'm not saying that they need to be experiencing this. That's never what I'm saying. I'm just standing in solidarity from the comforts of my home. Miami Cubans, this is the message for y'all. The rest of the country, we wish y'all the best. We don't live there. We can't even get there. Most of us not gonna fly from Miami to New York and LA and Alabama or all the whole country, Charlotte, everybody had a march, right? We not flying from Miami to go to y'all march to stand in solidarity with y'all. We gonna send our prayers. We're gonna like the comments. We're gonna share. But this for Miami Cubans who was just this past weekend marching up and down the street. We not doing it. Let me see what Tony said. Right, y'all call Gloria Estefan and don't worry about Gloria Jean and them. That's fucking right. Gloria Jean, Willie Irma, Willie George, Clyde, Tyrone, Kishon's, the Keishas. Don't call her. Don't call Keisha Jackson. Don't call Shamel Johnson out of Miami. We gonna send you thoughts and prayers. We gonna send you thoughts and prayers on this one until y'all get, because this is also too J-Lo from New York. She know the struggle, but J-Lo ain't said nothing. He ain't telling no one lie. We still mourning Frankie Beverly. Tony, get out my comments. Let's talk about Frankie Beverly, but we is rest in peace to Frankie Beverly. But here's the other thing too, and I think this is something that maybe we wouldn't have felt this way had this last election not showed us where you align politically. And so to see the number of Cuban Americans that voted for Donald Trump, despite all the problematic and racist and homophobic and sexist and xenophobic, all the phobics, all the isms, all the things that he said, and y'all still was like, I'm gonna vote for Donald Trump. No. We were like, y'all don't see what's going on here. So when we saw that, we was like, oh, like y'all for real don't really F with us. I know black. I know black. I know. I'm Puerto Rican. I'm Cuban. Nah, not Puerto Rican. We ain't gonna give y'all too much. I Cuban. I Cuban. You see my hair is Cuban. I got Cuban hair today. This my Cuban. Puerto Rican. Shout out to T.S. Madison, Miami's own. But yeah, when y'all showed us in this last election where your loyalties like really, really lie. Like I think here's the thing, we all knew in Miami. We already knew what they was, but to just really see that stark recognition and to see a lot of the turmoil and things that the country is in today, Black people right now more than ever are like, no, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Y'all ever been in an imbalanced friendship? Because this is what it feels like. Yep, and Venezuelans too. But this feels like this situation with the Cubans, it feels like when you're in an imbalanced friendship and you giving so much. You giving so much. We're gonna call it a friend. We're gonna call it a friend Tatiana. JJ, you already know that's our word. Tatiana, me and Tatiana be going everywhere. But Tatiana don't never want to drive her car. I gotta always drive. Tatiana don't never have no money. I always gotta pay. Tatiana go on trips out of town, but acting broke and I gotta pay. And she a killjoy and just draining the fuck out you. Them imbalanced friendships. Tatiana don't never wanna, she just negative. You always giving to her. She always got something going on, but she don't never want to check on you. But you've known her so long. Y'all go back. Y'all mamas used to be play friends. Best friends. So y'all play cousins. And Tatiana, you just known her for so long. So she just always been there. You hold Tatiana up and you know her mama them. So you like, okay, I know where she come from. So Tatiana, I'm gonna be there for Tatiana. And then you grow the fuck up. You go get some mental health work. You go to therapy. You grow in life. You learn things. You go to college. You meet different people and see other real, genuine friendships don't work like that. And then you be like, Tatiana, you go back to that friendship, you be like, Tatiana ain't really my friend. I'm just doing all this stuff because I've known Tatiana so long. It's just always been this way. And you like, yeah, I ain't doing this shit no more with Tatiana. I still love her and her mama them, but Tatiana's not my friend. She's just somebody that I've just been familiar with. And this is just how it's always been. You know, my mom and my grandma them taught me you gotta be a giver, gotta be understanding for people. You know, Tatiana them hold Tatiana down. You know, and maybe Tatiana did one thing for you that she hold on to. Remember when I came and gave you gas when your car ran out of gas on the side of the 826? That's a real story for me. My friends used to stay come and get me gas. I just had this thing with the gas station. Still don't like gas stations, but I used to be broke as fuck too. But anyways, remember when I came and got you off the side of 826 and you ran out of gas? Remember? Yeah, girl. So can you drop me and man down to the Walmart and go buy some Pampers, please? And you realize Tatiana's not your friend and you cut that shit off and you be better. And that's our relationship with other minority groups right now. That is the Black relationship. They've been a Tatianas in our political social life all these years, picking them up, holding them down, even when the shit been imbalanced, when we needed them, they ain't there for us. And now all of a sudden, we have now realized that the Tatianas of the other ethnicities and the other groups, y'all, we got to cut ties. And it's not saying you and Tatiana never make up and y'all, maybe she comes to a realization and she grows and y'all can be friends again. And that's what I'm hoping happens with the other minority groups, right? That they grow up so we could be friends again and be in unity. Because real tea, we all need each other in this fight against white supremacy. We really can't afford to be disconnected, but you can't keep abusing my relationship and me being down with you and marching with you and being with you from the civil rights movement since y'all came here. Because you remember they drug us here in chains. So we were already here when the other minority groups got here, right? And we knew how it was gonna be. We like, y'all, let's link up, let's be together, right? And so we came in and we were graceful and we were understanding. Because a lot of times, y'all remember when new minority groups come here, they have to live in Black areas or poor areas adjacent to us. And they be in our areas with us until they assimilate and leave us. So we come in and that's been a history of Black people in this country embracing other ethnic groups, right? And so until y'all get y'all shit together, other ethnic groups, specifically the ones we talk about today, Miami Cubans, until y'all do that and be a better friend to us and start treating us as human and equals, we gonna have to sit this out, Tatiana. We gotta sit it out, Tatiana. Let me see what Terry said. They think because we dance off of some suavemente, we gonna come and march with them. We boots on the ground right now, Raul. Tony, you have the jokes today. Your keyboard is working. Your keyboard is on. Y'all, this has been a great conversation. Look, when I'm gonna get to the point where y'all want to do the hotline, is that not what y'all want to do? Yeah, I really be wanting somebody to come on, like y'all know when the radio stations and y'all call in and drop a hot little 15 and be telling Ricky Smiley and Tom Joyner them what y'all want to think of calling a Breakfast Club. I want to do that one day. So can we work to that where I could drop the link and y'all come on and say what y'all need to say? Y'all ain't even got to show y'all face. Y'all could even change y'all name in the thing if you want to be an alias. And I just want to hear from the people. I want that energy and I want this to be more of our show together, right? But yeah. As we get into this last interview today, do that roll call. Do that roll call like Albie Silk. Oh, we should do the roll call like Albie Silk. That was his name. Now what's up, y'all? Let me see what Sade said. Yeah, start that. I want to do that. I be saying it. So y'all let me know how I could do the roll call with y'all. Yeah, I'm gonna have to call next time. Yeah, call in. Oh, so y'all remember Miami people, if you're a millennial of a certain age, y'all remember, was it 99 Gems? Albie Silk used to be on, and he used to be like, now what's up, y'all? Now what's it gonna be? Who's on the line with your homie Albie? I used to be trying to get a little rap together that I could call in. I never did, but the people who used to have their shit together, I used to be like, oh, they killed it. They killed it. We got to come up with our own little Albie Silk do a roll call. But I got to figure out how we could do it. Should we do it with music or should we just be like, get it off your chest? Let's figure out how we could make that our new thing. Cause Do y'all remember the Albie Silk? Like that used to be real fun and listening to it late at night on 99 Gems. 99 Gems Doodoo Head. Not Doodoo Head 99 Gems. But yeah, we gonna do call-ins and let the community know. And you know what I'll do? I'll put it how I have this scrolling on the screen because it depends on the keep call line. Yes, keep keep calling in. Yes. Okay, so that's what I'm gonna do. So how I have this scrolling on the screen, just in case you come in and you don't know that it's a like because every episode gonna be it, but sometimes people need reminders. So I'll put that on the screen and say, hey, if you want to call in, let me know. I'll send you the link. You can hop in our DMs on Instagram or Facebook and I can send you the link that way. Cause y'all know I can't put I was putting it in the description, but when that man last episode had his penis on the thing, I can't put the link out there no more. Like some random, no, real shit, y'all. A random man found the link, the guest link to come in, and he was backstage playing with himself and putting his penis on the screen. So y'all can't see it. But if anybody use StreamYard, that's the platform I use. Oh no, not the battery low. Oh no. We gotta switch. We gotta switch. We gotta switch cameras. We gotta switch cameras. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Is it back? Is it back? Can y'all hear me? Not me use. I gotta find a new camera. I gotta find a new camera. Okay, here it is. Here it is. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. My camera messed up on me, y'all. I'm using my HD camera. Uh and then it went out. So don't worry, we back. But yeah, I'm a like I was saying, somebody came in on the back thing and was doing nasty shit. So can't make it public. But if you want to call, I'm gonna put it on the screen and we'll be able to do that because I think that'll be fun and help us with growing the audience and just making it feel like ours. Like I want this to feel like our shit, okay? Because it is our shit. So without further ado, just to wrap up the episode today, I have another amazing interview with FPNL. Y'all look at us. We getting the big brands hitting us up. So y'all F with it, right? So her name is Chelsea Lunn, and she's talking about FPNL. Actually, FPNL has some saving tips and some different perks and tricks that y'all can find out for y'all light bill and what you need to do in the time of hurricane season and storm time. So definitely want to get y'all that information because y'all know me. I'm gonna give y'all news y'all can use, right? And I forgot to put up my thing. And see, this is why I need a producer. I've been getting all these emails, so soon we'll have a producer, but I ain't get a chance to put this up when we have our hot topic. I ain't have a chance to do it. Y'all gotta remind me to use my graphics. But now we have our news you can use with our interview. I gotta get an interview one. Let's check out this conversation with Chelsea Lunn. All right, Hilo News family, we have a special guest in the building today. I am so excited to have this conversation. And it's also an important conversation about something that none of us can avoid. It's hurricane season talk, right? And we're getting in the thick of it. There's things that we need to know about. And we have somebody here that can give you some really great tips, things that you need to know about when it comes to power outages and things like that. I think you kind of think who my guests may be and where they're from. We have none other than Chelsea Lunn from Water, Power, and Light, FPNL, on the show. Welcome to the show, Chelsea. Hey.
Janie, thanks for having me.
Hey, it's all good. Look, Chelsea, I am so sorry. I forgot to tell you my name was Janae.
Oh, gosh. Oh, no.
No, you're good. You're good. Do you want me to do the intro? Oh, we also get to the tea. We get then. Let me do that over. Hello, News family. We have a special guest in the building. I'm so excited to bring this conversation to you. I want to keep having these in-depth conversations, important conversations. We have fun here, but we also get to the tea. We get to the juice and the meat of important topics as well. And something we all can't ignore is hurricane season, right? There's nothing more important than that. We all know living in South Florida, Miami-Dade, Broward, Palm Beach, Monroe, all across the state, we know how important and vital hurricane season is, and understanding the information that can help us save our homes, power outages and things like that. And so I wanted to have this guest on to break down some information for y'all. And, I said power outages, so y'all kind of got an idea who I'm talking about. I have none other than Chelsea Lunn from Florida Power and Lights to talk about how you can get ready with hurricane preparedness. Hey, Chelsea.
Hi, Janae. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Thank you so much. Look, I've actually been wanting to have a deeper relationship and connection to FPNL. So I'm glad this is our first conversation, and I know this won't be the last. So thank you for coming on the show.
Of course, yeah. With storm season coming up June 1st, I appreciate the opportunity to come on and share some tips. Hopefully we get lucky this year, knock on wood, but every year we got to be prepared no matter what. So I know as a South Florida native, you're a South Florida native as well. Some years we take it seriously. Some years we think, oh, it's not going to hit us. But no matter what, we always have to be prepared for storm season.
No, definitely. And I've been doing some coverage around like climate change and storms, and how we've been seeing that sometimes these storms over the years have been like more powerful than we've seen in the past, or just we've seen different parts of the state hit and things like that. So I thought when the opportunity came up to talk to you from FPNL, like that would be really helpful, useful information that my audience can use like right now, because like you said, June 1st is the start of hurricane season. So these are things people are going to be needing in real time. And I want to jump right into our conversation about it. With storm season around the corner, how does FPNL prepare for it?
Right. So we prepare year round. We have over 9,000 employees at FPL. Every single one of us has a storm role. Even as a external affairs manager and lobbyist for FPL, I have a storm role. I'm assigned to different EOCs as a regional spokesperson. And no matter what happens, we're all prepared. A couple of weeks ago, we just had a mock storm drill where all of our employees simulated a real hurricane hitting us, and we practiced how we communicate with our team using all the technology and the mobile apps we've invested in. And we did that mock run a couple of weeks ago, and we're ready for anything that comes this year.
That's what's up. And over the years, I've seen FPNL, like the response time is like quicker and quicker during storm season. So those drills are really helping y'all out, and that's really dope. Another question I wanted to have, just to take it to the customers, is what does FPNL do to prepare customers for hurricane season?
Sure. So another thing I want to talk about is we also have smart grid technology. So we have over 227,000 smart meter devices on our equipment. And what that means is, instead of in the past, we would have had to send a truck and a driver out to investigate a situation. Now with this smart meter technology, we know instantaneously when there's an outage in certain areas. And so we can line up those linemen and know exactly where to send them as soon as the storm passes. Another thing we have now is drone technology. So again, in the past, we might not have been able to get crew out to an area because of fallen trees, flooding, things like that. Now we can utilize drone technology to get a bird's eye view, assess the damage, and come up with a plan. So as soon as it's safe, we can get our linemen out there and restore back power to everyone as quickly as possible. So that helps us pinpoint where we send our crews, and it's a big part of our planning process.
Wow. And when your power's out during hurricane season, like you want it restored right away. You could have like, not only food items, but sometimes, medicine and things like that are needed to be refrigerated. So the fact that FPNL is forward thinking and thinking about ways that they can use technology to shorten that, response time is really amazing. Are there any specific tips that you could share with customers ahead of season, especially when it comes to, power outages, keeping their home powered? Like, what are some things that FPNL recommends?
Yeah, I have a lot of tips. And on the topic of food, I'll start with one. If you have grandparents, elderly parents, neighbors, friends, and family that need assistance, or you think will need assistance during a storm, FPL partners with a lot of nonprofits to help thousands of seniors prepare for storm season every year. So last year, we partnered with the Florida Council on Aging and other partner agencies to provide hurricane preparedness meal kits to seniors, especially people that are homebound. Over 10,000 seniors got meals through this program, including hundreds right here in South Florida. And over 28,000 hurricane preparedness meal kits were distributed. So that's one way we help customers prepare. We're also this year partnering with Meals on Wheels in South Florida, LifeNet in Broward County, and then in Miami-Dade, we're partnering with United Home Care to distribute those meal kits again this year to our seniors. So that'll impact over 2,000 people in need this year in Broward and Miami-Dade alone. As far as some other tips, don't attempt to trim any vegetation growing anywhere near or on a power line yourself. You need to someone that's licensed. Those power lines typically are energized, so you want to make sure you have a licensed professional to trim any vegetation. If you're using a generator, follow the instructions. Don't turn it on in the house, in the garage. Make sure it's in a well-ventilated area, outside, not in your home. I know some people might be worried about security issues. Generators are a hot commodity during a storm, but the most important thing is safety and making sure people aren't inhaling those fumes and creating a dangerous situation. Speaking of danger, if there's an emergency, call 911 immediately. If you see a down power line, call us at some point, but the first phone call should always be 911 so we can get the fire department out there. The fire department will help with emergencies like down power lines, things like that. And our crew will go out there to assist them as well to make sure those lines are de-energized and they can make the area safe again. But anytime there's an emergency, 911 should always be the first call for any kind of hazards in the road or near your home. On that note, too, stay far away from down power lines and flooded areas. I know you always see people on the videos on TikTok on their paddle boards and their kayaks, swimming in the floodwaters.
Because
right. Beyond gators, fish, and sharks, there could also be electric wires in those waters. So definitely, as fun as it looks, wait and take that to the beach after the storm.
That part.
And then, right. It couldn't be me. So after the storm passes, safety is always a top priority for us, and it should be for everyone else. People think the storm is the scary part, but a lot of injuries, fatalities actually happen after a storm, and that's when it's important to keep your guard up still. So if people have issues, they can always call us at 800-4-OUTAGE to report down power lines or damage to lines and poles. We also have our FPL mobile app and the website where you can report outages as well. And when you report those on the website, you'll get live updates to your account, whatever number is associated to your account. People can also visit our Power Tracker website. That shows, it's an interactive map. People can view outage and restoration information in their areas after the storm.
Oh, that's what's up. And I just added to the screen the number that you can call. And if you want, I can also too, I'm going to share your Instagram page, but I know it has like links to your website and things like that. I'm pretty sure, here's the thing, we're all FPNL customers in Florida, so I know we have a way to connect, but we still want to share that information with you all watching with us, because this is all, super helpful, life-saving, at time information. Thank you so much, Chelsea, for breaking that down. I want to switch gears just a little bit with you to talk about some of the community outreach FPNL does. I was really, pleasantly surprised to find out about some of those things. Can you break down some of those initiatives?
Yeah, of course. So, FPL, it's a priority for us to be out in the community at all times. We want to make Florida a better place to live, work, and play. Most of the people that work for FPL are also Florida residents and customers too. So we're all dedicated to serving our community, whether it's through volunteer programs or educational programs. Last year, one of the reasons I love the company so much is last year, employee volunteers contributed over 58,000 hours in the community through company-sponsored projects on their own personal volunteer time. And it's just great to work for a company that supports that. And, if you donate a certain amount of money or volunteer hours to a nonprofit organization, FPL will help match and support that organization as well. And this year, we also celebrated our 17th annual Power to Care campaign. So over 800 employees, retirees, family, and friends came together to volunteer for 30 projects across the state, like meal packing events, beach cleanups, home and park beautification projects, tree plantings. We did a big tree planting with the Girl Scouts down in South Dade here in Miami-Dade. And one of my favorite projects we're doing, though, I want to talk about is we're committed to working with our school districts. I saw you did an interview with Dr. Gallen recently. That was amazing. And he actually joined us for one of the projects I'm going to talk about. We provide tools and resources. We really like to encourage STEM programs. So in celebration of our 100-year anniversary this year, we announced 20 STEM classroom makeover grants. Normally, we only give out 5. This year, we did 20 for our anniversary. And 3 of them are right here in Dade County. So one was Coconut Palm was awarded one last year. We just did the classroom reveal with them about a month ago. And then the next 2 up in Miami-Dade are Miami Norland and Miami Gardens. It's going to be getting, a STEM classroom.
Miami Gardens.
Yes, we were joined by Mayor Harris, Commissioner Oliver Gilbert, Dr. Gallen, and some other elected officials in the area to help celebrate. It was a great day with the students, and it's something we do in partnership with the Education Fund. And I'm really excited to go back for the classroom reveal at the end of this year. And the other school is Hialeah Gardens Senior High School.
Nice.
Hialeah Gardens Senior High School. So the grant's pretty amazing. So they're going to get all the new technology and resources and transform their learning environment, which is a big, important part of learning. When we want to make sure we're investing in our students here in Florida and that they have the opportunity to learn about STEM education and careers, and that they're getting the right training to do that. So, and then the last thing I want to talk about is, some of the work with our local churches. We've held some health and heart information sessions for the last 5 years at local churches in Miami-Dade and Broward County in partnership with the American Heart Association. So.
This is amazing work. And sometimes, people don't know what, companies are doing behind the scenes. So I'm glad you really broke that down. And I think I saw or heard something about the work you did at New Orleans. So that's really dope. And Dr. Gallen is the man of the hour right now. He's going viral right now on social media for a skit he just did with the class of 2005 that graduated from Miami Northwestern for their 20th year alumni anniversary. And to me, just you mentioning that and just his impact, like he's really somebody really deep into like education and making sure like the students have what they need. So yeah, that's really cool. Shout out to him and the work that you guys have done together. Something else before I let you go is I can't have you here and not talk about bills and the money. People always want to know about their bills at FNL. What are some things that you guys have done to help low-income customers manage their electricity bills? And then also too, like, what are some things that you guys do to help people save on their electricity bills?
Definitely. So there's a lot of resources available, and I appreciate the opportunity. A lot of people don't know about these. So we provide assistance to low-income customers through programs like Care to Share program. You can look that up on our website. That's made possible by the generosity of FPL employees, shareholders, and our customers. So this is a program where anyone that needs emergency bill payment assistance or electric repair funds, this is a program available for eligible individuals and family who might have a temporary financial hardship, like sudden illness, unemployment, or another emergency or crisis going on. And as far as saving on their bills, we pride ourselves. We try to do everything we can to keep the bills low. We have a diverse mix of energy from solar, nuclear power, natural gas. We don't rely on coal at all. And, a lot of people are worried about inflation. Fortunately, a lot of our fuel is sourced through our solar farms that we have at our power plants, our nuclear facility, and natural gas, which a large portion of it is sourced domestically. So that's something that helps us keep the bills low for people in Florida. We offer a few different programs to help customers save, though. We have the FPL Energy Manager tool. So if you go online and look at your website portal, it'll give you personalized recommendations for how you can reduce your energy consumption. You can look at, how different appliances might be affecting your bill, how different settings at different times of the day can affect your bill. And then we also offer rebates for energy efficient appliances and home improvements like insulation or HVAC upgrades. We have another program called On-Call Savings, where you can get bill credits by allowing us to cycle off certain high energy appliances during peak times. Peak times is when, you know, typically in the evening, people are all going home at the same time, and our demand for energy all of a sudden goes way up. But yeah, and for more information, you know, we have fpl.com/ways to save is a great resource for anyone that wants to learn more, see how they can keep their bill down. We have a lot of information about those programs on our website.
No, and you know, the site and the app is really user friendly. I know when I look at my bill, especially months where it's like higher than what I expected to be, I'll look
Mm-hmm.
at the usage and those tips on ways to lower it. So it's all like really useful. And guys, you gotta definitely check it out and figure out ways to save. But I like learning about the rebate for energy saving
Mm-hmm.
equipment or appliances. That's really dope that you guys do that.
I'm glad. Yeah. And I'll say I was talking to someone yesterday. You know, they went out of town for a couple of months. They didn't realize, a lot of people don't know, when your appliances are plugged in, it's still using some energy. So that's something that can help keep your bills low too. If you have big appliances you're not using frequently, to keep those unplugged.
Oh, see, you just I was telling my fiance, I was like, this does not, you're not saving anything unplugging this. So you just made me
Oh yeah.
lose that argument.
I'm sorry.
But you know what? That's a good tip. You're right. And we travel a lot, and sometimes we're going for like a week or, you know, at a time. And like, you know, he was unplugging stuff. I was like, why are you doing this? We're not saving any money. What are you saving? Like 50 cents? But the fact that I got it confirmed here from FPNL, I'm gonna lay off of him when he unplugs our appliances.
That's funny.
Chelsea, is there anything else that you want to share? Anything that's coming up that you want the audience to know before, you know, we let you get out of here?
No, well, thank you so much for having me. I just, again, can't stress enough, you know, storm season is approaching June 1st. You know, we're seeing a lot more frequent storms, and the forecast this year, we're expecting to see more storms than we usually do. And it seems that they're getting more and more severe every year. And so no matter what, make sure you're prepared, make sure you put safety as a priority, make sure you have a plan, your friends have a plan, your family has a plan. Um, these storms can turn on the blink of an eye. And so it's important to always be prepared, fill up your gas tank, make sure you have food and water for at least a week. And, you know, we're here to help and make sure we can restore things back to normal as quickly as possible.
No, that's amazing. And something else that I like to do is like follow pages like FPNL or different like I guess like bills or things that I pay into, because there may be alerts. You know, people, everybody's on social media now. So I would
Mhm.
even encourage people to not only get the app and have the website, but also to follow you all on social media. And if you're looking at the screen, I have their Instagram page up. It's inside FPNL. And there's links there, there's information and videos and tips. So that's also too another resource for you to you know, access in real time for information.
Awesome.
Chelsea,
Well, thank
is there where does well, you gave us the website, but let's give them that again before you head out as well, like so they could just know like where they can get more information, the hurricane tips.
Yeah, definitely visit fpl.com/storm. And then again, you can call us at, if you don't have access to internet for some reason, you can call us anytime at 800-4-outage. And one more reminder, if it's a real emergency, call 911.
Don't call FPNL, call 911 first.
Yes,
That's
yes.
actually something that was something like during the conversation that I learned, because I'm like, you know, during hurricane season, I would think like, let me call FPNL, but you're right, like call the emergency services first and then FPNL, you know, so they can do their job. But thank you so much for enlightening our audience, sharing these tips, sharing information about FPNL that we didn't know. Chelsea, I would invite you and the FPNL family to come back on the show. You're now, you know, inducted as a friend of the show.
Oh,
So please
thank
come
you.
back anytime you have tips and information that our audience can use. I really appreciate you for coming on the show and sharing this information, this vital information with us. Thank you.
Thanks for having me, Janae.
Of course. See you guys. Oh, we'll see you next time. Thank you, Chelsea.
Bye.
Mic isn't on. My mic sounds nice. I'm back, y'all. Thank you so much, Chelsea from FPNL, for that informative interview and giving us all this information and good tips for storm season and what you can do with FPNL to save money on your bill and to protect your home. So, y'all make sure y'all write that information down. Before we get out of here, you know what? I do have some good news you can use. So, I could put up my graphic. Good news you can use. Good news. Hey, I mean, it's a work in progress. We getting our graphics and our segues together, right? But y'all, I wanted to share this information. There are some events that are happening before we get back on. So I want to share them with y'all. So shout out to Mr. Daryl Thomas. We not monetized yet, so I can play this music with y'all. But there he is. He has a fundraiser um called Boots on the Ground-a-thon happening Saturday, June 28th from 6 to 10 p.m. And if you look at him, that's oh, wait, I didn't even share the screen. Sorry, y'all. Oh, here he is. If you see him, he is right there dancing with the red socks on and, the hat. If you you see him right here getting down. Yes. That shit, Mr. Daryl. Come on now. Yes, he has a dance-a-thon. He's a part of the Circle of Brotherhood, and they have an event coming up. Let me see if I could bring that flyer up for you. I couldn't get him on the show today, but I definitely told him that we will be sharing the information on the screen and on the show. So there it is, Boots on the Ground-a-thon, June 28th, food trucks and a raffle. This is a fundraiser and partying with a purpose, fundraising for Circle of Brotherhood, Coach D as he goes by. And yeah, you guys go out there and support support that event, support an amazing organization in the community, and tell them that High Low News sent you. So that's going down June 28th. It's so much going down June 28th. Another event that's happening on June 28th is actually West Fest. Northwestern has a festival going on. Also, too, Papa Keith has a Caribbean Heritage Month event happening at Carroll City Park on June 28th. A content creator studio by a GG Thrive Guide. All of that stuff is on Saturday. So when we come back next week, I'll be able to go more into those events. But one event that we are a partner with is with my alma mater that I just shared that that a lot of you guys may not know that I'm actually a graduate of Miami Northwestern um, uh, high school. And so this is an event that we are a co-sponsor of, and it is the kickoff party. And then we'll also be at West Fest. We'll have a tent. We'll be doing giveaways, giving away free pictures as well. So you guys definitely want to check that out. And let me see. I want to find the flyers so I can get y'all the exact information so that you all can share that um with your groups. So let's put this on the screen. And here we are. It's the West Fest official kickoff celebrations headlined by DJ Nasty. It's going down at Gulfstream's King's Room, $20 entry fee, $500 karaoke contest, and none other than High Low News will be in the building. We will have a free photo booth, so come over to our red carpet photo situation. We'll have some props that you could take pictures with and get that free memento. You and your group, you and your friends, you and your girl, you and your guy, come over and take a picture with us at the official West Fest kickoff celebration. That is going down on June. Let's see if they have June 26th. That's that next week, Thursday, from 8 p.m. to 1 a.m. So y'all make sure y'all pull up. That is the pre-party before West Fest. And like I said, we'll also be a sponsor and vendor at the West Fest. We'll be out there giving away free pictures. We'll actually have printed pictures that you could take as a memento. We'll be doing a gift card giveaway like we do at events. So make sure y'all pull up to our activations at these two West Fest events. And so excited to be a part of that. Shout out to West Fest, the Blue and Gold Inc. Foundation, who is hosting and the producer of West Fest. And shout out to the Bulls. They're having their alumni picnic coming up. I'm gonna be there. This is gonna be my first alumni picnic that I'm attending in years. So I'm gonna be able to give y'all firsthand account of what it's like to go to a West Fest. I've heard the West Fest be lit. I mean, Carol City lit too. You know, we gonna always get Carol City love, but the West Fest got it going on. Yeah, they be having at least 15,000 people out there. Like, I'm sorry, y'all. Other schools, West Fest be having all the people out. But y'all know y'all alumni strong. They go back 100 years. So they alumni, they got a lot of alumni, right? So shout out to West Fest. I'll be out there. And shout out to the Blue and Gold Inc. Foundation for producing that event. Y'all, as always, thank y'all for tuning in to another Can We Talk podcast. I appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all follow us on all social media platforms. If you want exclusive content, you want our content first, sign up for our email newsletter. That's for our loyal followers. You can sign up at highlowNewsMiami.com. Also, too, follow us on all social media platforms. And also, too, like, subscribe, share, tell a friend. Our goal is to get to 300 subs. We are almost there so that we can start getting super chats and get to the first level of monetization on YouTube. So just share this weekly news show with a friend. I do love it. And I see the numbers are consistently growing. And, you know, I'm thankful for the day that we have 1 million followers and 1 million viewers. But right now, I thank y'all for the ones who's with me at the ground floor and get to see this grassroots growth that we're having with the podcast. As always, you know, I love y'all. Thank y'all for rocking with me. Y'all have a good weekend on purpose. What's up, Mr. Julius? Hey. Oh, that's our friend. He was at the house last weekend. Hey, say what's up to Sabrina for me. Hey, what's up, Julius? Hey. Thank you, Auntie. Love you. Enjoy having you on as always. Love all my family and friends that are watching the podcast with me. Also, hey to everybody on YouTube watching us. Hey to everybody watching us on Facebook. We'll see y'all next week live on Thursday. Make sure y'all tune in to our social media the day of. And sometimes the day before, I can let y'all know what the exact time that I'll be going live. Y'all know it's going to be somewhere in between 5:30 and 7:30. I'm gonna be live. So just know, look out for us. But put the on YouTube, you can put the notifications on so it can send it right to your phone. But thank y'all as always. We're gonna pay some bills. Shout out to our advertisers, Baptist Health this week. Y'all support them because they support us. Love y'all, and I'll see y'all next week. Bye.
There's a 1 in 8 chance that a woman will develop breast cancer in her lifetime. And for Black women, we're more than likely to be diagnosed before the age of 50. Head to BaptistHealth.net right now to schedule your mammogram and be on the proactive side of care. Mammograms save lives.
When the last time you had a prostate screening?
I haven't done.
What about colonoscopy?
I've been thinking about it. I know I have to do it.
Come on, man. You know, we can't wait till something happens. We can't wait for nobody to do it for us. We got to do it ourselves.
Yeah, you're right.
You know? So we got to make it a priority, man.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Okay.
I'll do it.
Full checkup once a year. And make sure you ask the doctors to get a PSA. And important, make sure you get that colonoscopy. You're 50 now, man. You got to get that done. Okay?
This was awesome. Thank you for tuning in.